Grandmaster Rene, now that we got a lot of insight about the past, now I would like to come to the more present issues. In your terms, how should a constructive teacher-student relationship be today? For example, in regards to criticism, how teachers should handle criticism, students. What is your teaching philosophy in general?
Well, mine is being open and assuring the students that it's okay to ask questions, that there's a trust, that I don't have to intimidate people to make them learn. I don't have to intimidate them. I don't have to show force. I don't have to hit people. I think that learning, like in school, is based on discovery and the ability to retain information, to retain and process what you've learned, and to be more creative in understanding how you can use this, right? Creativity and discovery are things that you learn, like when you're doing math. You all of a sudden, you're learning to do addition, division, and you're trying to bring numbers up and divide and to subtract, and it just becomes this formula that you're going, what am I going to use this for? And once you discover how you do it, how you can make everything work and why you need it, and it becomes yours. And you are then understanding of math, understanding of why this education was important, why you had to discover it, that you couldn't mirror math, that eventually, that if you had to live in society, you had to change money, you had to go banking, you had to do lots of things that all contain math. So that's a discovery. And what I wanted in the martial arts was it to be a second nature, right? Something that, you don't hinder any learning experience. You make them curious for more. And you're honest with them. You don't hide things. You don't say, oh, there's secrets of this and this and this and this. It's hard work, and hard work discovers, and when you discover, those become your secrets, right? Which is really not a secret. It's this ability to be innovative in what you do. So if something goes wrong, you can keep going. And the philosophy behind the teaching is that it also mirrors life. If something happens here and it doesn't go right, you can still go on. There are things that you can do. It's never all lost, right? You can make up for it. If you can think out the box, if you could, handle negativity, turning it into a positive aspect. That's what my teaching does. That's what I want to have taught. It's not, oh, this is my teaching, it's better than yours, don't mess with us, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I learned through trial and error. So in the beginning, I had all my guys, we were fighters and blah, blah, blah. You went to tournaments, you went to fights, you understood power, you knew how to hit people, and it was all about the physicality. It was all about winning. It was all about this, that, and the other. And as I grew into development and teaching, retention was probably becoming the key component to all of this. Understanding that, that you can retain the information and then with the retention of the information, then you can go on to explore other things and develop and become you, become yourself, become not a clone of me, not a clone of your teacher, but to become you, to become what you make of you in the Filipino martial arts, how you make it work for you.
Talking about teaching, it's known that you yourself, you never adopted a grading system like the traditional martial arts have done. What was the reason for this, and is it still valid today, or you have set up something similar, a similar way?
Well, I initially didn't like grading systems because I didn't grow up in grading systems. Angel Kabbalah said, when you're a teacher, I'll make you a teacher. And if you're good, you're good. And it's not that any sort of certification or whatever is going to make you a teacher. It's going to make you a master. It's going to make you whatever you are. You are what you make yourself. But as I turn a lot of cornerstones, you start to understand that the school systems have adopted progression, have adopted grades, have adopted this methodology of reward by giving you the next level, that you understand that you're at the 5th level, then you know what's involved in being in the 5th grade or the 5th level of whatever you're doing, and now you can move up to the 6th, right? I never had that, so it wasn't instilled in me only in grade school and education and college, the grading system, but in the martial arts, I never instilled that until, recently. Then I'm putting in like grades so people understand where they are. People love to have progression. They like to know where they are. They like to know where they stand. And I understand that. And so to me, it's to appease the people who need that to drive them further, to give them more inspiration to go further,
So I also understand that you see that, for example, the grading process is a kind of a tool for managing, for example, classes, schools, clubs, whatever, right?
Right, exactly. So if I go into a big seminar or a small seminar, whatever I go into, I know what these people can do, what the students can do, and how I can enhance what they do and make their training better and make their lives better.
Grandmaster Rene, now I'm putting up, let's say, maybe more critical question, but maybe not really critical. Who is a perfect student to your point of view? Who's a perfect teacher to your point of view? Because you have trained so many martial artists from different styles. What was the biggest difficulty for you to get those practitioners in line with the beginning of logical concepts?
Right. So, I go in as a teacher. I don't go in as someone that's high on a pedestal. I go in to teach them what to do, how to learn, how to make it logical. I give them this relationship of my being a mentor, not being something that intimidates their learning process. So whatever the martial art is that they're doing, whatever they're training in, I really have no concern about that. All I'm concerned about is if they use my techniques and my methods and my concepts to develop what they do, I'm happy with it, right? The perfect student is the one who can listen, who can discover, who can be innovative, and can use it to their benefit, whatever their system is, and is open enough to say, oh, I do it this way. Yeah, you can do it that way, but this is also another way of doing it. And they understand that, oh yeah, I could do it this way or I could do it this way. There's a range, there's a level. And to understand that is a person who then understands, your body. Because martial art is your body. You have to understand what you can do with this, where you can put this, how much power, where all the strength comes from, where your speed comes from. You have to take all your attributes and make them more than what you are now. You take the sum of its parts and put it together and make the whole bigger than it was. And enhance everything that you do without prejudice, right? Without saying, oh, I can't do this because I'm doing this. You can do anything you want to do. Limitations are beyond. You can't limit yourself by going, oh, I can't do this because of this. You can do it. There are answers for a lot of things. And so, you have to be freeing your mind to not be limited of what you were taught in the past. Move on forward. Look for the future. Look for devices that will help you learn. help you discover, help you be a better person, help you be a better martial artist.
Would be the term catalyst be appropriate?
Catalyst is a good word for it, right? You make them have a baseline to throw whatever they have into a pot, mix it all together, make it work better, make it work more effective in their eyes. It doesn't matter whose eyes are looking at it, it just matters of whether you find it effective. And the only part that is very difficult for people who do this innovation and creativity is validation. And if you have nobody validated, then you're always wondering whether it is the right thing, it is the right move. But then that becomes confidence. You have to learn it, you have to train it, you have to practice it, and make sure you discover it on whatever people give to you as a problem, right? The problem is the opponent, you're the solution, you have to make it work.
Any short, pragmatic advice for practitioners who want to start with logical concepts?
Leave your mind open. Leave your mind open and mirror all you do in the martial art to life, right? Just mirror it, because everything you do out there, you're going to do in here. If the logical method of getting from A to B is a train, then you go that way. If it's a car, go there. If it's walk, go that way. But be flexible enough to understand that you can do all these things, right? And your mind is open to do all these things. Again, you take the new philosophies, you think outside the box, and you really do have to think outside the box. Take the standards, build around it, make it better.